everybody, this is Emily Beck and welcome to the first episode of Hey Martha Call Me, the show where we make a craft or cook and maybe one day Martha Stewart will call us. So in today's video we are going to brine a beef brisket to make corned beef for St. Patrick's Day. Now this recipe is called a quick brine, and it is only called a quick brine because it only brines for 5 days instead of 10. So it's kind of quick, but not really quick. So it will be done just in time for St. Patrick's Day. So to start, I went to my local grocery store and I picked up a 3.5 pound flat brisket. This recipe does call for a 4 pounder, but I could not find one. So 3.5 pound will work just fine. So in this, we are going to, see, this is the nice little 3.5 pound piece of brisket. So to brine this, we are going to take coriander seeds. What are these things? Cloves, 8 cloves, a teaspoon of coriander seeds, a teaspoon of mustard seeds, a teaspoon of black peppercorn, 1 cinnamon stick, and 4 bay leaves. So these need to be crushed up. So I have here a plastic bag, and I'm going to attempt to crush them with a rolling pin. I don't know if this is going to work. So I'm going to put them in a bag. If you're really fancy and have a mortar and pestle, you can use that. I don't have one of those. So I'm going to try this method. I'm going to put the bay leaves in here too, because they're supposed to be crushed. So all 4 bay leaves. Don't forget the cinnamon stick. I almost just did. Put it in the bag. Make sure there's no air in it. Now, since this granite countertop is super fancy, I'm at my sister's house, by the way, I don't want to mess up the countertop. So I have a little like drying mat. It's got a little bit of squishiness to it. And so when I'm pounding on it, that doesn't come through, I've got another towel, dish towel. So let's see if we can whack it. Good whack. See if it worked. Oh my God, it did, you guys. It worked. Holy crap. That worked really good. Check it out. You see the cinnamon stick is like pulverized. But it didn't get the leaves. So maybe I'll just do this. See, this is why I need Martha to call me. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, that looks cool. All right, maybe I'll give it a few more whacks. Okay, hold on. We'll use this end. But we won't don't do it really hard if you have granite countertops. Please do not mess up your countertops. Okay, that should be fine. Oh my God, I can't believe how well this worked. Okay, so we got that. So save that for a second. So now we have in a saucepan back here 2 quarts of just boiling water. And to that, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Now, some of the recipes said you could use regular, just granulated sugar, but I have made this before, and I have always used brown sugar. So I got brown sugar. A 1/2 cup of kosher salt. So make sure it is kosher. There is a difference. So kosher salt, cup of that. And then this particular salt, it looks pink. It is not pink Himalayan salt. It is pink curing salt. And it has nitrates in it, and it helps to not make botulism grow. You could omit this, but if you do, and I've made this before, like I said, but I've never used this curing salt. And when I did, now it tasted like corned beef, but it didn't stay pink. So if you don't use this, you're not going to get that pink color that you're used to. And they say it does affect the taste. So You know, you could omit this, but I'm going to use this. And where I found this, you can find this on the internet, but I went to my local butcher and they make their own sausages and things like that. So that's where I found this. Downtown L's Meat Market. Hey. So we're going to boil some water. And this is actually not quite boiling yet. But really all you have to do is dissolve this. So we're going to put this in the pot. Oh Lord. Woo, girl. Okay. So put all those things in. Get this, and then our little pulverized mixture. Woo. Oh, here we go. She's boiling now. So I'm going to stir this, and really all I'm looking to do here is dissolve those salts and the sugar. So once that is dissolved, we're going to let this cool. Okay, so our mixture has cooled, completely cooled. One thing I did forget to say before I started putting this in here, you want to have a non-reactive bowl, so stainless steel. Don't use anything like aluminum or anything like that for what you're going to boil all of your spices in, and then also what you're going to be brining in. You could, if I would have had a big plastic bag, I could have put this in a bag and then put it in whatever I wanted for the 5 days. But this is a big old hunk of meat, so I have a stainless steel little roaster that I'm going to be placing in the refrigerator. So just wanted to make sure I said that. So I've got this mixture, it's completely cooled, and we're going to pour it over the meat. Oh my goodness. Okay, and I want all of that stuff. See, I've got stuff left over. I want all of that stuff. Let me get a spoon. So I'm going to scoop all of this stuff onto my meat. So, and also what I'm noticing here is that my meat is A, it's floating a little bit, and B, it's not completely covered. So what I'm going to do is actually, since I've got a little bit left inside, my little spices are still in there, I'm going to put a little bit more water in this bowl. Give me 1 second. Okay. So I'm going to put a little bit more water. And then what you should do is use like a plate. You can submerge this under the water with a plate because you're going to put this in your refrigerator. Yeah, see if I push this down with some sort of plate, it will get all in there. So what you're going to do is you're going to plastic wrap this nice and tight, clear out a big old spot in your refrigerator, and let this sit in your refrigerator for 5 days. And when we take it out, we're going to cook it. See you soon. So it's been 5 days and our beef brisket has been brining away in the refrigerator. It's all done. As you can see, it's kind of changed slightly in color. It's a little bit rubbery to touch, so it is ready. So what you want to do is take this out of its brine and rinse it. So all these little peppercorns and everything's all stuck to it. We want to rinse that all off. So with cool water, we're going to rinse off all of this stuff. I'm going to pick out all of the little corned bits stuck to it. So it's changed slightly in color. See, it's a little bit brown now, but that's how you know it's working. So we're going to rinse this all off. you don't have to get off all the corns, but just so nobody bites into that and breaks a tooth off, I'm gonna try to get all the corns out of here. Little mustard seeds and peppercorns that didn't get crushed up. All right, that looks good. So now I'm gonna put this into a roaster. Don't put it back into your brine solution. That would be a bad idea. So, oh gosh, it just fits in this roaster. It's so huge. So now what I'm gonna do is put water over this until it covers the meat by 2 inches. So this is gonna go into the oven for like 3 hours. So we wanna make sure that there's enough water in there so it doesn't get dried out. So make sure the water is cool. It's a little bit warm. Oops, wrong way. So we're gonna cover this meat by 2 inches. There we go. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees. So we're gonna throw this bad boy in there. I'm gonna cook it for about 3.5 hours on its own, just the meat in the pot. So I'm gonna throw that in the oven right now. And in the meantime, while that's cooking, I'm going to show you what kind of vegetables I'm going to put in here. So while I was at the store, I picked up these really cute little fingerling potatoes. I thought it would be so cute to have some yellow potatoes and some little purple ones since it's kind of colorful. So I just have these. I'm not going to cut them. I just washed them and that's it. These are pretty small and probably won't take very much time to cook in there. So that's why we're waiting to put those vegetables until halfway through. But you could use any kind of potato that you have in your home. Large baking potatoes, you could use those little red ones, whatever you want. I also, instead of peeling a bunch of carrots, I just went and got a bag of baby carrots. So those are just going to get tossed right in there when the time is right. And the last thing that I'm going to put in there, of course, it's not going to be corned beef without your cabbage. So I picked up this nice head of cabbage. So I'm going to remove the outer leaves and toss them into the sink. We don't want those outer leaves. So let's get those off of there. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to cut this. Actually, I'm going to try to cut this into 1/8. So I'm going to cut this stem off. Oh, girl. She's a tough one. Okay, so I'm going to start from this way. Try to cut it in half. Oh my goodness. Woo! Okay, let's do it like this. This is a hard cabbage. Good God. Okay. Whew, I need to go work out. All right, so we've got half. We're going to half it again. Oh. Half that. Another half. All right, so I'm going to try to cut these in half again. This should be entertaining. So let's move these out of the way. Ooh, okay, here we go. Perfect. So that kind of makes it a little more manageable. If it's too big, you're not going to want to eat that. All right, this again. Start from the core. There we go. 2 more to go. Got my workout in for the day, dang. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe. This is my very, very first Hey Martha Call Me video. So I have a lot of new videos planned. They're not all going to be cooking. We're gonna do some crafts. We're gonna do some home cleaning products, how to organize things, and just lots of fun videos for you guys to enjoy. So make sure to like, subscribe, and if you want to leave a comment, that would be awesome. Whew. Okay, there we go. Got a little bit of trash. Okay, so I've got about an hour of cook time left, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the potatoes first and throw the potatoes in. Be careful, they're going to splash. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put them in one by one. So, all my little fingerling potatoes are going in. Ooh, it's splashy. Okay. Those, and then we're going to dump the carrots in. I'm going to do the same thing. Girl, that water's getting high. I don't know if I can get all these in here. Let's see. OMG. I wasn't expecting that water to get so high. This is why I need Martha to call me. I think I may have made a mistake. Let's see. Look how colorful that is. So pretty. Okay, now we need to put that into there. Check out my water line. Ooh, okay, here goes nothing. I think it's okay if they're not like in the water, because this is gonna like steam. So that's okay if they're not. Oh my goodness. You guys, it just made it. That water is right to the lip. Oh, okay. Where's my lid? All right, so I'm gonna put the lid back on here and let it cook for the next hour. So there you have it. There's my recipe for corned beef and cabbage. Hey Martha, call me.